This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rakem. I'm the host, Big B, along with my co-host, halfway around the world. Got some big news to deliver today. The Prime Moves, Tim Hendricks. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I think the last time we were on, we were talking about the next time that I was going to have a new edition. Well, that new edition showed up on Monday. She was supposed to show up on Friday, but typical Hendricks fashion, she shows up late. Just does basically what a Hendricks will do, and you know we're proud of being. I'm probably the most on time person in the group, and everybody else is pretty much a late person. But no, my granddaughter Amara showed up on Monday, 9:31. Florida time, so I got that news at 6:31. I got that news at like 4:15 my time. But no, both are healthy. Both are at home. Now, my daughter's fun gets to begin.
Yeah, no kidding. So congratulations to them. Maybe she was, picking up the future of what birthday she's wanted to be because. We will be doing the 26th birthdays of January, and, maybe she wanted to be in that group instead of the 23rd. I don't know, but glad to hear everything's okay. My family definitely sends their congratulations to you and your family. So, can't wait to see pictures down the road of the young one. So, but with that being said, guys, let's get into birthdays. January, for my family, a lot of birthdays. Rest in peace to my Aunt Tammy, whose birthday was yesterday. My cousin, not Gabe, I'm trying to think of his name now. We'll appreciate it. Oh my God, I can't think. I got too many family members. My cousin Nikki's son. It was his birthday yesterday too. Just can't think of his name now. Oh my God, I'm getting old. But
I don't know what I tell you. So
yeah. So, but oh man, that's gonna bug me now.
All right.
So with that being said, let's go into January 6th birthdays. I'll figure it out because it's gonna bug me. So I'm going right to her Facebook page. So Tim, how many do you think we're gonna get for January 6th?
Oh, I think we can go a ways on this one. I think I'm
Jaden.
What's his name?
Jaden. Happy birthday, Jaden. Sorry that cousin Brandon forgot your name. All right.
I'm back to where we were. I'm doubled up on two spots.
Okay.
I could see 5 and a long way around to get it. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go 3 because that's a sweet spot and it's a safe spot. So I'm
gonna go 3 too. The only way we're gonna get 5 is if you hit my number 5. That would be the only shot, I think. So
here's the funny thing is my number 5 is a double up. The only reason and they have no link to each other except for the fact is that they are people that we have each met.
Oh, cool.
You have met one, and I have met one. Mine is not in the wrestling business, unlike yours, which is.
I wonder who I missed then.
Mine isn't. And the fact is, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen a picture of you and Jackson with this said wrestler. So I know you've met this person. It's a female. If it makes you, it's a woman. It's a female wrestler. So if that makes you help any easier too. I've met mine at a comic convention in Tampa, Florida, and we had a nice little conversation because of another actor that I had a back and forth with, and it's amazing. I will give mine away. Mine is the oh gosh, now I can't even remember his Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, one Norman Reedus. But yours, I remember your my number 5A as a wrestler that was, I think, in WWE. I think there might have been a time where she was in the WCW, but you know, she had breasts bigger than my head. Short, little short wrestler, and you know, Spitfire, even Spitfire then, probably a Spitfire now, but you're the one that met her. I didn't. But my 5A is Miss Jackie.
Oh, yes. I didn't get her autograph. But yeah, we did get to meet Miss Jackie. I am going to change my number 5 because I can't find. Well, no, this is why. Because my number 5 was the baby lion-tailed Marquise from the World Zoo. I was trying to find what they're famous for, but they really didn't have anything. So I'm just looking here quick to see if I can just pull somebody out of the hat here.
I didn't.
I can't. I'll just go with the baby lion-tailed Marquise from Seattle Zoo. I don't know why he was out there, but I tried to throw a curveball and be fancy.
That's all right. I kind of left one of my curveballs at like number 8. So don't feel so bad.
All right, you're number 4.
My number 4, again, a double up. Both Hall of Fame football players. It just happens to be the week before they announce the NFL Hall of Fame, and the whole, and it happens to be the day after the whole kerfuffle between Bill Belichick not being the first ballot Hall of Fame, and it might be because of a former GM of the Indianapolis Colts and Bill Polian. That's whatever. My 4A is a former Los Angeles and Oakland Raider whose 2 kids have both played in the NFL. My 4B is a guy who got kicked off the San Francisco 49ers because he threw a chair at somebody or punched somebody, and next thing you know, he's playing for the Dallas Cowboys. My 4A is Howie Long, and my 4B is Charles Haley.
Okay, I miss Howie Long. That one definitely would have knocked out the monkey, but oh well, whatever. My number 4 is an actor. My wife likes him. Jackson likes him. I think his comedy movies are dumb. I mean, I don't know. They don't intrigue me as much as they do, but Rowan Atkinson, aka Mr. Bean.
This is going to tell you how much I like him. It's not C2C unless we're sniping.
Yeah, where's the sniper?
My number 3 is your number 4. I love Rowan Atkinson. I think.
Oh man,
I think his best stuff. Everybody says Mr. Bean's his best stuff. But I honestly, I love him as Johnny English. I think his Johnny English is amazing, but his Black Adder is probably the best British comedy I've ever seen.
Well, before we move on, I actually reached out to a company. We're going to have our snipings be produced and promoted by our sponsors at Punch Gunk. It's like an icy hot. Try them out. If you want the website, reach out to me. But Punch Gunk, yeah, it's supposed to be very good muscle relaxer.
Really,
What?
we have our sniping. Hold on, we have our sniping that being sponsored by somebody.
Yeah, why not? Why not Punch Gunk?
Well, no, I'm all about it. I just never expect that to happen.
No, again, thanks for Bubba Sparks for giving me that contact, and definitely hope to get some more sponsors for C2C and some of our little side bits here. But speaking of that, we'll go to sniping. Brought to you by Punch Gunk. My number 3 is your number 5, Miss Jackie. Definitely, one of the divas, Mount Rushmore, possibly. I mean, of women's wrestling. So, you're number 3.
My number 2.
Number 2, yes.
My number 2. We're going to the gridiron, the college gridiron. I went along. I remember growing up being everybody. It seemed like everybody at my school at Niagara was either a Michigan fan, Ohio State fan, Wisconsin fan, or a Notre Dame fan. And I have a program from the Notre Dame Michigan game back when Jerome Bettis was still in college at Notre Dame. But most people don't remember that Notre Dame won a national championship with this head coach. And then this head coach who's completely crazy and sounds like a older Dusty Rhodes. It's really funny when you listen to his list. Went to South Carolina. My number 2 is the former head coach of Notre Dame and South Carolina, Lou Holtz.
And I believe short time with the Gophers, I think.
Briefly, yeah.
I'm almost positive. My number 2 is actress, the farmer's daughter, I think it was, Loretta Young.
Cool. I had no clue who she is, which is completely shocking for me.
All right, you're number 1.
Number 1, we're going to kind of go into the realm of French heroism. Has also been known to be I think she got sainted about 10 years ago. Basically, if you're a woman, a lot of women look up to my number 1. They burnt her at the stake because you can't be a woman at that time and be expected to be all and powerful. But my number 1 is Joan of Arc.
Did see that one. Well, my number 1 is your number 1, also brought to you by Punk Gunk. Lou Holtz. Definitely, he was the coaching mind back in the day, got anybody and everybody to come to Notre Dame, and even when he went to South Carolina. But yeah, so all right, so we got 3. So we'll move on.
Remember, I said I had a curveball number 8.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I missed that one.
John DeLorean.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the 15th. Happy birthday to those that share the birthdays with these guys. I'm gonna go a solid 3. I think, and I mean solid 3 as they're in my top 3. And I think they're going to be somewhere in yours, but
there's a possibility of a 4th one in there.
There is possibility of a 4th one. Yep.
Yeah.
So I will kick it off at number 5. We have a saying on here: if you're the first, you got to make the list. The founder and king of Saudi Arabia, where the Royal Rumble is going to be at today or this weekend.
Today.
Ivan Sadin. So, all right, you're number 5.
My number 5 is a king.
Okay.
But I remember her from a little TV show called 227. But I remember her being the wife of Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
My number 5 is Regina King.
yeah, I was gonna put her down there too, and yep, I saw that one. I'm gonna go number 4 here. Iconic singing group. I think they're really only known for one song, and I think if you get a group of 5 people together, especially gentlemen that want to go Halloween costume and dress up as these people, you definitely do that. My number 5 is a cop for the Village People, Ray Simpson.
Do you know what his other claim of fame is?
No.
You know who he was married to?
No.
He is the first husband of one Felicia Rashad.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. I did not know that.
Before Felicia Rashad married Ahmad, who, if for people don't know, links to the Minnesota Vikings quite nicely. Yeah. I didn't know that either. I didn't know that either until it came up on a show I was watching, and I was like, "Yeah, he was married to Felicia Rashad before she married Ahmad." I'm like, I have no clue about that.
Wow, they do not even have that on his Wikipedia page at all.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. All right, you're number 4.
My number 4. Well, we'll stay in the NFL in a way. Linked around to Ahmad Rashad. But I'm going to, if I'm not mistaken, he is one of the MVPs of a Super Bowl that is actually a co-MVP. Shares the last name with a former starting quarterback in Dallas. I always got these two confused, and when I listened to him, I'm like, well, look, brothers are playing on the Dallas Cowboys. One plays quarterback, and the other plays linebacker. And then I realized they're not related. My number 4 is the Hall of Fame linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys, Randy White.
Yep, saw him. My number 3. Okay, we're going to say the gridiron. We're going to go with the guy that, could have been a Charger, but, they went with Phillip Rivers. Move on to New Orleans, where he becomes the face of the franchise, face of the city, passing all over the place. One, Drew Brees.
Yeah. Number 3. Number 2.
All right.
My number 3. It's not Drew Brees. My number 3 is the patriarch of a great acting family. If you ever got a chance growing up watching a little movie called Airplane, he plays the air traffic controller in Airplane, and he's the father of one Jeff and Bo. This guy's absolutely brilliant. I think he did a spoof on The Godfather where he played the Brando character, which I think it was hilarious. But my number 3 is Lloyd Bridges. We're not getting 3.
Wow. Okay.
We're not getting 3, are we?
Well, so far we need to work on getting 1. I mean,
well, we're getting 1. Don't worry. We're getting 1.
All right. Well, then let's work on getting 2. My number 2 is famous actress, and I don't think she really is remembered for anything but her cameos on Love Boat. One, Charo.
No, yeah, we're not getting. Oh, we're in so much trouble.
All right, you're number 2.
Well, Punch Gunk is going to like me right now because it's not C2C unless we're sniping. And when you get the burn like this, you need some Punch Gunk. My number 2 is your number 3, Drew Brees.
All right. Well, my number 1. This should be a given for this date. Activist, speaker. I think everybody, especially now in Minnesota, kind of remember what he spoke for. One, Martin Luther King Jr.
Well,
you're number 1.
Punch Gunk, you're going to be happy again, because my number 1 is Brandon's number one. Yeah, when I saw it on the list, I went, okay, if I don't put Martin Luther King on there, I'm getting canceled in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was hilarious that there was 2 kings on the same day.
There was actually 3. There was a third one too on that list.
You had the king of Saudi Arabia too.
Well, no, but there was actually 3 people that named King on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was gonna put her on there, and I'm just like, I don't know. So, all right, let's go to the 17th of January. This one.
This was tough. This was tough for me just to narrow it down.
Oh.
I'm doubled up. I'm going to help you out here. I'm doubled up on a spot.
Oh, I wonder how you would be double up, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go 4. I could see 5 if you saw the same thing I saw.
I could easily see 5. It depends on what you saw.
Yeah. All right, go with it. Number 5.
My number 5, if you know anything about anything, I thought it was hilarious because I don't know how many dates that I saw that had gangsters, had mobsters on their birthday. And I'm like, holy smokes, heck, my granddaughter's suspected birthday had 2, then her birthday had another one, then there's this one. And the thing is, we grew up in the Midwest, and there's this place that's just down the road from me where I grew up, where the Four Seasons Supper Club is, which is actually kind of well known as a stopping point during Prohibition for Murder Incorporated. And if anybody knows anything about Murder Incorporated, it was a mob group that was headed up by one person who came out of Chicago. Funny thing is, the guy whose Scarface is based off of was actually born in Brooklyn, but found his way in Chicago and became a hub. And basically, the whole area where Brandon and I met actually kind of gets run through because of this mobster. And then, kind of as a nice little slap in the face by this mobster, there's this investigative reporter that was out of Chicago at the same, or roughly in the 80s and the early 90s, and Fox had this great idea that let's put Geraldo Rivera on TV and see if we can find out what's in this vault in Chicago, and find out basically let's ruin Geraldo Rivera's career by finding out there's nothing in this in this vault. My number 5 is Scarface himself, Al Capone.
Which, again, if you follow that documentary, and I remember watching that, I think at my grandma's house, and they're saying that they purposely opened up the wrong vault to have him. I don't know. So it all depends on what you say. Yeah. All right. Well, my number 5, we're not getting 5 because my number 5 is not that, but it is the first Earl Battier of the first admiral in the Marine military, David Battier, Beatty.
Beatty, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Beatty. Yeah. All right, your number 4.
My number 4 is my double up. It's hilarious. One is a comedian, known for In Living Color and then Everything Under the Sun after that. Played an amazing Andy Kaufman. But see, I'll give you that name right off the top. I will give you Jim Carrey.
I miss Carrey. Wow.
I'll give you Jim Carrey, but Brandon and I have this small little thing about a certain movie, and my 4A is known to be he's the said character of this whole thing, and there's a line said by Whoopi Goldberg in this movie, and it's hilarious, and you find out that this guy is the voice of that said character, but he's also the voice of the lion in the CNN lion, which they kind of somebody makes a kind of a joke of in another movie. He's the father of one Simba in the Lion King, but he's also his big huge claim to fame. And I honestly love this guy in The Great White Hope. It's a movie where he's in the where I think it was filmed in the 50s, the late 50s. And I love the movie. I think the movie's brilliant. But my number 4 is Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones.
Yeah. My number 4.
Punch Gunk ain't gonna be happy.
No, I still think we're going to get there, but I'm looking at another website that has all the birth dates, and I missed a lot. But my number 4, in the boxing world, he's the greatest of all time. And I don't think there's going to be too many people that argue in our generation. Yeah. I got Muhammad Ali at number 4.
4. Oh, you're going to need Punch Gunk after this.
You're number 3.
My number 3, to me, probably the funniest lady in the entire world. Kind of hoping that she had gotten to her 100th birthday, but she missed it by a couple weeks. God, some of the lines she said, especially in my brother's favorite line in Lake Placid, which I can't say here, is my brother loves that, and it's the most brilliant line to ever hear an 80-year-old woman tell somebody is still the greatest thing in the entire world. I crack up every time I hear it. And it's hilarious, considering when you find out, if you watch an episode of the Golden Girls and they make a comment and they made where Rose was going to be the last Golden Girl to be alive, and it ends up being absolutely true, where everybody dies in order as they say it. To me, I think the greatest comedian, one of the greatest comedians of all time, one of the best female comedians of all time. My number 3 is Betty White.
All right. Well, let's get to some Punch Gunk and sniping here. My number 4 is part of my number 3 is part of your number 4. The voice of Darth Vader. He had a great role in Coming to America. The baseball movie Field of Dreams. One Earl Jones or James Earl Jones. So your number 2.
My number 2. I'm starting to wonder how we're getting 4 at this point. My number 2. Probably, I'm going to say it, probably one of the greatest founding fathers of all time. I can't argue. I can't say it enough. This is a guy I would love to sit down and have a conversation with, because I think he's probably the most real one of everybody. And when you have to have some type of sense of humor when you think the national bird should be the turkey and not the bald eagle. I think right there is the reason why I want to have a beer with the guy. And he's and he's on the $100 bill, for God's sakes. It's that's how much the United States thinks of the guy. My number 2 is Benjamin Franklin.
All right. Well, we'll go back to our sponsor, Punch Gunk, for our next snipe of the night for this category, which is not popping up for me. There it is. One Betty White. Yeah, she's hilarious. The best line I think I've ever heard her say is in Golden Girls, where she goes, "Can I ask a stupid question?" And then one of them goes, "You sure can," with the best of them. Just by far the greatest. And of course, her character's from Minnesota, so why not? But Betty White, number 2. You're number 1.
Well, go ahead, Punch Gunk, because you're going to love us in this show, because we're at this point, we are just doing nothing but plugging Punch Gunk. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 1 is the greatest of all time. At your number 4, one Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Well, for the 17th, we got it one more time. sniping. My number one is your number two. And I'm with you. I would love to sit down and talk, to a lot of these people back in the day, but Benjamin Franklin, definitely.
Remember how I made the comment that we've got all these gangsters? My number 6 was Arnold Rothstein, the gangster who fixed the 1919 World Series.
Wow. Yeah. So we're getting a lot of fixes in these days if you talk sports because everyone thinks the NFL is fixed. So, all right, let's move on to the 20th. This was tough. I could see 2 for sure. I'll go 3 because I think you might get the music one, but I think we got 2 for sure.
We're good at 3 then. We should be good. Hold on. I 2. I don't know if you're gonna have my number 2. That's how scary I am right now. How scared I am right now.
Ooh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll start out off at number 5. A guy I got to see. Matter of fact, somewhere around here, I have a guitar clip of his when he came to a concert here where I work at. One, John Michael Montgomery.
Not the one I was thinking.
Oh. All right. You're number 5.
Which is funny because you went with a singer as well, and I kind of went with a singer too. I remember early in the days where nobody knew what these guys looked like because they all wore face paint back in the 70s, and then all of a sudden in the 80s, in the late 80s, early 90s, like, hey, it'd be really cool. Let's take off the face paint, and then you realized how dog ugly these guys were. It's like Metallica for their Black Album cutting their hair. But I admit that it was weird because one of the first thing I did when I came here, and it's a little bit of a personal thing. I'm sitting here watching, and next thing, all of a sudden, my 13-year-old at the time, no, take that back, 11-year-old at the time, 11-year-old stepson starts singing "I Was Made for Loving You, Baby," and I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't expecting. We were sitting at the table, and he starts singing it, and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at my wife, and I'm going, "Is he singing Kiss?" I'm like, "How the hell does he know Kiss?" And find out Kiss was doing a commercial, and I'm like, "Holy hell!" Well, the guy who's singing that song in the song and on the record is my number 5, the former lead singer of Kiss, Paul Stanley.
Okay. Go back. I'm going to go back to the 17th because I said we missed some people. And maybe you did. Maybe you had them on your list, but we had Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, well, we don't deal with politics.
We don't deal with politics that much. I get that. Dwayne Wade, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
RJ, Michelle Obama, Steve Harvey, and the guy that just got his bell rung a few weeks ago, Jake Paul. So,
that was beautiful.
that was. Speaking of getting bells rung, we're going to go to my number 4, quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl MVP here in Minnesota, one Nick Foles.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
You're number 4.
My number 4. Well, it was hilarious when you said that you met this guy. Well, my number 4 I met too, and it was one of those brief little. Another guy I met at a Comic-Con happened to be this. Well, I want to say it's the same Comic-Con that I met Norman Reedus at. I want to say and we had a little conversation, and he was running late, and it was like a joke. And I have, and I'm going to say this on in the internet, so it's going to be stored for posterity purposes. I wanted to make a joke because how every time you go and get an autograph, sometimes they'll let you do personalizations. Well, he was running late, and they said that he couldn't do personalization. So, and I said I'm going to put one down, and I made a joke, and I looked at him, and I said, I know you're not doing personalizations, but I got this hilarious thing. I'd love to see if you'd give it a shot, if you're going to write it down, and this comes back to a Sean Astin thing the next year. And I said, I want to joke because there's everybody in line trying to think about this funny thing that they should put on their picture, and all these girls from who watched him on American Horror Story couldn't figure out anything to write down. And he says, "Tell me." I said, no, go ahead and tell me. I said, put down, "You will always be a twinkle in my eye." And I'm like, this isn't going to go. He says, "Go ahead, repeat that one more time." "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Tim." He says, "Okay, Tim, I want you to tell me what you want me to put on your 8x10. You will always be the twinkle in my eye." Okay, he goes, "To Tim, you will always be the twinkle in my eye. My number 4 is Evan Peters."
Nice.
And it comes up to another story because I saw Sean Astin the year after. And I said, I told him about this. I said, I have these little things, little conversations with everybody I meet, because I had met John Rhys Davies earlier, and then I met Sean Astin. And Sean Astin is the reason why I had a conversation with Norman Reedus. Standing in Norman Reedus's line, and Sean Astin's going to his spot at the Comic-Con, and he says, "Hey, big guy, what are you doing in this line?" I said, "I'm getting Norman Reedus's autograph." And he says, No. He's like, no, you think he's ruggedly handsome, and I understand why you're in your line. I'll just wait for you when I get to my line. I get up there to Norman Reedus, and I said, "I just had this thing about Sean with Sean Astin." He says, "Yeah, what'd he say?" He says, "The only reason why I'm in line with you is because I think you're ruggedly handsome." Shit, really? Like, yeah. So I got an 8x10 picture of Norman Reedus who says, "Ruggedly handsome Norman Reedus." And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I get out of that line with Norman Reedus, and I go to Sean Astin's line, which was basically filling up as I was getting there. And I'm looking at Sean Astin, and I'm pointing at him, because I'm looking at him going, I see you. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Norman Reedus comes out of his booth, walks into Sean Astin's booth, and they both point at me and look at me. And I'm like, oh, Christ, here we go. This is going to be a good thing. So I get up to see Sean Astin, and I said, you know, and I had told him that I heard about his mom, Patty Duke. She had died earlier that year. And my dad had died the year before. And I sit there and I said, I have all these little conversations with people, and I get these, and I have one. And I said, you made my Comic-Con. And I said, last year, Evan Peters did this for me, where he signed an autograph saying, "You will always be a twinkle in my eye," to Evan Peters. He says, and we sat there and talked for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And next thing he knows, he signs it. I didn't have a personalization for nothing that I wanted. I just wanted to meet Sean Astin. He says, "To Tim, you will always be the twinkle in my one-eyed Willie, Sean Astin." So I'm like, oh, you shitting.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. So you're number 4. Okay. So we're at number 3. My number 3, back a few years ago, I think it was before Molitor, definitely before Rocco. I wanted this guy to be the Twins manager, just because he was outspoken and he actually liked the Twins, called them the Piranhas. One Ozzie Guillen.
Yeah, that'd have been cool. I saw that one on there too.
You're number 3.
My number 3, my dad was a big Star Trek fan, and there's a couple people in this house who are big Star Trek fans. I swear everybody's like, "Oh, they gave Shatner the best lines in the entire series." I beg to differ, because you know they gave the best line in the series always to the Doctor of Star Trek. My number 3 is DeForest Kelly, Bones in Star Trek.
Gotcha. My number 2, there's been rumors that if you told this guy that something was fake, you would get floored. I would not want to tell this guy something's fake because I don't want to get hit, especially by a guy that's his age. Because he would floor me even though I'm 400 pounds. But one Buzz Aldridge. Your number 2.
My number 2, probably part of the greatest comedy duo in history. I remember him and John Denver in Oh God. I think the Oh God series. He made 100 years old and he was smoking cigars. I for the longest time, and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would agree with me. I wanted to know how you could live 100 years and smoke cigars like he did, and we're not going to hit 100 years old. We smoking cigars. Probably part of the greatest comedy duo outside of Abbott and Costello and Laurel and Hardy. Burns and Allen. My number 2 is George Burns.
All right. Well, my number 1, brought to you by Punch Gunk, is George Burns. Yeah, he's one of the funniest guys. Like you said, smoked until he passed. He probably was smoking while he passed.
When he passed.
And I guarantee you, somebody probably put a cigar in his coffin. I mean, why
I
not?
guarantee it. Probably put it right in his pocket.
Yep, exactly. You're number 1.
Well, Punch Gunk for the 343 millionth time today. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 1 is your number 2. I love that video where the guy goes up and tells him that the moon landing was fake, and I watched that guy get punched on more than one occasion, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but that guy's like he's late 90s. He's got a 30-year-old wife, 30 or 40-year-old wife. I wouldn't want to fight Buzz Aldrin. Heck, think about it. They named Buzz Lightyear after Buzz Aldrin. It's like you don't fight that guy. There's a reason why you don't fight that guy.
He is 96 this year.
96.
Yeah. One birthday that I forgot, or I didn't see, but looking at it now, Minnesota's number 9, J.J. McCarthy, turned 23. So, yeah.
And his QB ranking is still lower than that.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the 23rd, which should have been the day that we were all celebrating big time about. But somebody wanted to stay warm for a couple more days. But anyways, so the 23rd of January, I'm
doubled up. I'm doubled up on a spot.
Yeah, I'm not. I could see 4, 5 is going to be a tight one. I'm going to go safe with 3.
I'm going to probably be safe with 2.
So let's see. I got you there. Okay. All right. So go ahead with your number 5.
Is it me or is it you?
Let's see.
It's you. No, it's me. It's me. It's me. Well, I'm doubled up here.
All right.
I'm doubled up, and I kind of pulled a Brandon Herrera special homer pick in the middle of this. So I've got an actor, one we've lost not too long ago. I want to say not too much after Christmas. And I've been waiting. I have been waiting patiently for a remake of this TV series from the 80s, and I've been waiting for them to try to make a movie. And then the other guy, they made a remake of the TV show, and his TV show, and it sucked. My number 5A is Buck Rogers himself, Gil Gerard. The show that I'm waiting for them to remake or to do a movie of, but yet for some reason they don't want to. And then Minneapolis' very own Richard Dean Anderson, otherwise known as MacGyver.
I did not know he was from Minnesota.
It said it on. Matter of fact, it said it right on the little thingy too.
Yep. No, I know what you're talking about because I didn't realize he was from Minnesota. My number 5 is, if you watch UFC, he's probably on the Mount Rushmore of UFCs. He's also married to a smoke show. in another category, but one Tito Ortiz.
Who did I miss? And then I realized you said Smoke Show. I'm thinking he's not thinking of the aces and eights guy, is he? Then I realized Tito Ortiz. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
All right, number 4.
My number 4. This is where I know that we're not getting 3, 5. There's a wrestler in the WWE that has to thank this woman for her development of a treatment for a certain kind of cancer. There is a wrestler by the name of Roman Reigns who has to be very, very thankful for this woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize for developing leukemia treatment. My number 4 is Gertrude Elion.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was you started talking wrestling. I'm like, wow, he hit my number 4 here. Because my number 4 is commentator, NXT star. I think he's still commentating for them. My number 4 is Nigel McGillicuddy.
Nigel McGillicuddy? You mean Nigel McGuinness?
McGuinness, yes. I'm sorry, McGuinness.
Dr. McGillicuddy.
McGuinness, yeah.
Somebody's been drinking today, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Your number 3.
My number 3. We don't do this type of people all that often, and it's usually me that does it. So, but I have this. I have this thing every time I go to museums that I have to touch probably a very famous painting, and I remember one of the first paintings I touched in Italy at La Guerra was a Paul Rubens. And I thought I was the greatest day of my life. I have seen plenty of this French Impressionist, but this guy's on the list. This guy's on the list, high on the list that I want to touch a painting of his. My number 3 is, like I said, the French Impressionist, Edward Monet. Manet. I've seen 50 of his paintings, and I've been this close, but I'm afraid I'm going to get thrown into jail.
Well, you talk about, we don't do much, but I know back in the day, I know we wish we would have did this, or her, but that's for another show. Saved by the Bell's own. She's 52 and still looks like a smoke show. Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is a guy who, if you were to talk to any Packer fan any Packer fan right now, says this guy is being robbed. He is not. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Bart Starr were still alive. He's still confused at why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Probably one of the guys that helped the whole ice bowl for Bart Starr getting into the end zone in the ice bowl. The Hall of Fame really needs to think about and wake up on this, but I think they made the comment that the Green Bay Packers from that era has too many players into the Hall of Fame as it is, yet you miss one of the greatest guards in Packer history. My number 2 is Jerry Kramer.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Hall of Fame's got a lot. The NFL has definitely got a lot of negativity right now after their big non-announcement. So,
yeah.
But we're gonna go with Punch Drunk. We got our number 2, our first step of this one. Your number 5, my number 2. Did not know he was from Minnesota until I saw it. Richard Dean Anderson, aka MacGyver. So, your number 1.
My number 1. We already had a founding father on this list, Benjamin Franklin. My number 1 is the biggest name on the Declaration of Independence. He says he made the comment that I'm going to write it big enough so King George doesn't need to wear his spectacles to see my name. He can see it from clear across the pond. My number 1 is John Hancock. Go ahead. Just like John Hancock, Punch Gunk is going to need the big name right across the board.
My number 1 is John Hancock. I mean, we've said it before. If you're first, you're on the list. You're definitely the first one to sign the Declaration of Independence, so you're on the list. as Chris Jericho would say. So we got 2. Let's move to the 31st because we'll say the important date for Tim to start with.
I was so proud of the 26th when I saw who was on board on it.
I know. Yeah. So this one, I'm going to go 2. I think there's more, but there's a lot. But you know what? I'll go 3. I'll go with the normal 3.
I'm going to ask the question: did you double up? Because there's a possibility you could have doubled up.
I did double up, but then I didn't find a spot, so I split them.
So I want to make sure that I do this right. January 31st, right?
Yeah, January 31st.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I honestly think 4 is a possibility, but we're gonna go. I'll give it year 3.
I do think 4 is a possibility. Like I said, I was doubled up at one time, but couldn't find somebody to fill out, so I split them up. So, all right. My number 5, we're gonna go music songwriter.
No.
What a great name for a group, I guess. Sex Pistols. John Lennon.
Okay.
You're number 5.
Again, January 31st, right?
Yep.
I'm doubling. I have to double check. I'm so afraid that I put the people on the wrong name spot.
You put the people on the wrong names?
We're wrong day. I have to double check this because I can't. I honestly don't think you missed this, but anything's possible. But at the 31st, give me one quick second. Because, let's see. Okay, I think we're. I may have been. No, we're good because. Yeah. I just can't believe you missed it. I don't think you missed it. Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Okay, my number 1. It was kind of funny that you went the music route, but I went the music route as well. I'm not gonna lie, but we kind of did a show. I want to say last month. About the top 5. I think I want to make sure I get this show right. The top 5 Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, NSYNC, and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. The funny thing is, the first time anybody ever sees the lead singer of one of those 2 boy groups is on a little show with Ed McMahon called Star Search, where he's singing country.
Which is getting remade. They're bringing it back.
Yeah, I saw that. It's on Netflix. Yep, I saw that. Which I kind of thought it was weird that you brought up the guy from the Sex Pistols. But and then he had his little Mickey Mouse Club run-in with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and 2/3 of everybody else and Ryan Gosling. But my number 5 is the husband of one Ely, Minnesota born actress. I've been to Ely. I probably was in Ely when she was growing up, so I've been there a couple times. When now I'm not even going to try to screw up her name because I can't remember it right off the top of my head. But my number 5 is Justin Timberlake.
Jessica Biel.
Yep, she was probably in Ely when I was there in 91 and 92.
Oh, probably.
90 and 91. Take that back. 90 and 91.
Yep. Well, let's go with it. Punch Gunk, the proud sponsor of the sniping segment. Yes, I got Justin Timberlake there. I didn't forget about him. Yeah, no. Great.
Then I know exactly who you missed. I know. Exactly.
Well, it's not that I missed anybody. I just couldn't find somebody to fill in the spot, so that's why I had to break up my double.
No, I
all right, your number 4.
My number 4 is the king of the no-hitters until he comes up to somebody called by this former Chicago White Sox by the name of Robin Ventura. That's matter of fact, this pitcher had more hits on Robin Ventura than the Chicago White Sox did off of this pitcher that day. If I'm not mistaken, there were 11. There were 7. There were 7 right hands to Robin Ventura's head. If I'm not mistaken, which is hilarious considering that this pitcher has 7 no-hitters and no Cy Youngs. My number 4 is the conductor of the Ryan Express himself, Mr. Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. My number 3, Mr. Cub himself, always wanted to play 2. When I decided to hang up my cleats and glove, I did it on a doubleheader that we did. I said, hey, why not play 2 in honor of Ernie Banks? My number 3 is Ernie Banks. Your number 3.
Today, Punch Gunk is going to love us because we're doing it because we're going to be now the phrase that pays and for Punch Gunk. C2C unless we're sniping. My number 3 is your number 3, Ernie Banks, Mr. Cubs himself. Let's play 2. I don't have the time to do 2 today though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like you said, they're getting their name out there today. Punch Gunk. My number 2 is definitely your number 4. Nolan Ryan. I don't know how this guy has not gotten a Cy Young award. I don't know. 7 no-hitters. The most strikeouts. Yeah. Your number 2.
My number 2. I'm making Green Bay Packer fans happy. Brandon, do you know the name of the place that sits right next to the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame?
Lambeau Field.
No. Right next to it, not across the street. There's the Hall of Fame, and right next to it is the indoor practice facility of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, okay.
And it's named after my number 2, probably the greatest Packer of all time. But people who only know Green Bay Packers from now don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
Lex Luger.
Oh my God! Most people know Luger played for the Packers. But my number 2 is the named person of the field that they practice on. It is the Don Hudson Field. It is a Don Hudson. My number 2 is Don Hudson.
Gotcha. My number 1, I think is going to make the list 10 out of 10 times if he's anywhere near the category. Because if you have a full day of baseball named after you and everybody's wearing your number, my number 1 is Jackie Robinson. Your number 1.
Well, my number 1, Punch Gunk is just, Punch Gunk is number 1 on the boards, number 1 in our hearts. So why not have them linked to the guy who was the first to do it? We have the saying for a reason, and it's probably because, if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that was the reason for it. He's like, if you're the first person, if you're the first one to do it, you have to be on the list. And when you got your number, when you have your number pretty much retired throughout the major leagues, and then they give you a day, and then, and then you got a movie. You kind of do it. My number 1 is your number 1, Jackie Robinson, and then he was a hell of a football player too. Don't let people think anything else. At USC, he was a hell of a football player.
Nope, definitely. So our bonus, well, we got 2. We definitely got the blind 5 here in a minute, but we go with the 26, which again, graced us with Tim's granddaughter. What a heck of a day for that one to show up on. I know Tim's probably going to be telling her all about all these people on this league. Let's see here. God.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2.
I'll tell you right now, I'm doubled up on the spot.
No, I'm not doubled up. I actually bumped one off of here because just going through the list. I'll go 3. But I have a feeling you're going to have one that I had on here. So
I will go 3, but I have this feeling 5 could have been a possibility.
Possibly. Maybe. My number 5 is a local curveball. So but
yeah, then it's definitely 24 at this point.
All right. You go ahead, you kick it off with your granddaughter's birthday, the 26th.
All right, I didn't put a couple things on and find out that was the same day as the same day that Kobe Bryant passed away. Yeah, that was a nice little how to do when you find that out. My number 5 is my double up, which is kind of strange because we lost one of them. We lost one last year, and we lost the other one a couple years back. There is a connection to these two because they're both in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's amazing to and I think one of them is one of them a Minnesota native, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. You got to tell me who it is first.
Well, I'll give you my. I've seen one of these guys in person. I saw one of them at a pay-per-view in Milwaukee. But my 5B is Hawk from LOD, from the Legion of Doom. I can't remember if he's the one from Minnesota. If he's not, I think
no, he's not. He's not from Minnesota.
Okay, but my number 5A, the voice of Major League, he was the voice of WrestleMania for the first 3 years. I honestly believe, not that Vince McMahon fool, but the voice of baseball back in the 80s, but the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, the voice of the Cleveland Indians for a small group of movies called Major League. My number 5A is Bob Uecker.
Wow, you got Uke Man that far down. I'm just gonna look up Hawk here. I don't believe he's from Minnesota. I know they always claim when they did promos or when they're introduced, it was, they were linked to Minnesota via Chicago.
I know one of them was.
He was born in Chicago. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. Okay. James Laurinaitis, or not James Laurinaitis. Well,
the birthplace of LOD was Minnesota.
All right, so now there's conflicting, because if you Google Road Warrior Hawk, it says he's born January 26, 1957, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, that's what I heard
too. If you click on his Wikipedia page, born, gives his first name January 26, St. Paul, Minnesota. So somehow he got born in two different places.
Yeah, that happens a lot, Yeah,
it happens a lot. Yeah, so I guess it all depends on, where you believe. So, but anyways, I did miss that one. I wish I would have met Animal for sure. My number 5 is a commentator from Minnesota wrestling, which I didn't know he was from Minnesota, but Gordon Solie.
Gordon Solie? I miss Gordon Solie? Holy
yeah. You're number 4.
My number 4, if you were to look up Mount Rushmore of rock guitar players of all time, the Mount Rushmore. I was here when he passed away, I want to say 3-4 years ago. And when your wife knows who he is, and I brought it up again when I started doing my homework for this episode, for this date. She's like, yeah, I forgot. Because we were having a coffee and a donut when I found out about it, and she found out about it, and it was like a kick in the face for her too. My number 4 is Eddie Van Halen.
He didn't die?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yep. He died in 2023.
Oh, okay. I was just like, I remember looking him up and okay. My number 4, I don't know if he's the founder of this great salad dressing, but I know he's a race car driver. One Paul Newman.
He was an actor too.
An actor, yep.
Yep, he was in Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, because Punch Kunk is going to be really, really happy. Because it's not C2C unless we're sniping Punch Kunk. I'm gonna kill that for some reason. At least they got something where I actually can't do a Freudian slip and get in trouble for it. But my number 3 is your number 4, Paul Newman.
All right. Well, we're going to keep going here because my number 3, brought to you by Punch Gunk. We're sniping, the phrase that pays. Eddie Van Halen. So you're number 2.
My number 2, bring a little history, and you can't argue this when your great grandfather was under his command in the Pacific Theater in World War II. You kind of, it's a little history to my granddaughter, and when your great great grandfather was in the Pacific in World War II and under his command, and he has one of the greatest lines to ever come out of World War II: "I shall return." My number 2 is the great general himself, Douglas MacArthur.
I saw that. But we're going to pay it off at least one more time, maybe twice. Pump Gunk, we're sniping. I was shocked that you had him lower, but I understand why now. But your number 5 is my number 2, the voice of, honestly, baseball. The Brewers, of course, a great actor. Voice of Major League, the movie, Bob Uecker. Your number 1.
My number 1. When you sit there and you got to be number 1 when you have the nickname, the great one. When you find out that you can take all of his goals away and he'd still leave in scoring just by assists alone. When my wife, again, if my wife knows who you are and she doesn't watch sports, guess what? You're in a great spot. She knows exactly who this guy is. Still probably one of the greatest trade steals next to Herschel Walker in sports history. Because I truly think the Los Angeles Kings fleeced the Edmonton Oilers on this deal. Because I don't know, but I wanted whatever the hell McNally was smoking when he traded to the Oilers. What else can you say? He's the great one. He's number 1, number 99 himself. I'm still waiting. Matter of fact, I think his number's retired in the NHL too, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
He should be. Honestly, he should have the next one retired.
Exactly. My number 1 is number 99 himself, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Well, Punch Gunk, obviously, number 1, Wayne Gretzky. Like Tim said, like we've said over and over, you take away half his stats, he still leads the NHL in scoring. I mean, and possibly a good fleece twice, I think, because didn't he get traded from Oilers to the Rangers, or maybe signed? I don't know, but he's the first one also to sign a 10-year deal too, I believe. So
he's the first one. I think when he signed I think he had signed an extension with the Kings. He signed the first one. Then he went to the Rangers, and then he went to the Blues.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
And then, of course, you got somebody like me that on Sega that trades for him and Lemieux at the same time, and had nothing else to play with. But hey, another one we missed. I don't know if we really missed, was Ellen DeGeneres. But I also had the first. Actually, I don't think he was the first, but Prime Minister of the Underworld. You talk about gangsters, Frank Castello.
Frank Costello from Calabria. Well, that name got brought up when we were talking about it. My wife's like,
from Italy.
You can't put him on there. You can't put that guy on there. I'm like, I'm putting Capone on there. No, you can't put that
Sasha Banks was also born on this date.
I saw that one.
Who I'm praying for is coming to Minnesota. Hopefully May 2nd, I think the date is.
Link this to the MAW. Maybe they will.
I've already expressed who I wanted to be, and they're not confirming or denying anything. But and it all started with local wrestler Sierra, who again should be signed elsewhere. She's always in the mid 200s as top ranked female wrestlers. She says she has her dream match coming up this year. They posted where a certain event was going to happen, and Sierra said, "Yep, it's happening here." And I go, "Is this the dream match?" She said, "Yeah." The only person I can think of is Sasha Banks. That's the only person I can think of, and I don't want to be disappointed if it's not her, but. And she does a lot of indie wrestling. So all signs are pointing. You know,
Well, that's like you agree. I agree that Sierra should be moved up. Another person that should be moved up, and I think we've talked about this a lot. We're still shocked that Joey the Jet Avalon hasn't been signed by anybody.
And it could be personal reasons. I mean,
age. He's not a young child. He's not a
well,
young kid.
also they're both a couple. I mean, so maybe it's one of those things where they just enjoy doing it together. So, but so all right. So let's get into the blind five, our favorite category. So I'll let you start with your topic to me that I don't know about. So what do we got?
Okay. Now you get these guys in their prime.
All right.
But if you wanted to start a wrestling promotion, who is the first person that you would take?
Okay.
Let's break your heart right off the top. Hulk Hogan. Remember, in their prime.
I gotta go Hogan. I mean, he did so much for the business. I gotta go Hogan. I mean, I know.
Hogan, what spot are you going Hogan?
Oh, I'm going one. I'm going one Hogan. I gotta go one Hogan. He did so much for the business. He went to WCW, turned them around. Not really in his prime either when he did that, but
he was on the backside of his prime.
There's not too many more I can argue. I gotta go Hogan. One.
All right. Sting.
Yeah, he's on my Mount Rushmore. God, I'm gonna go 3 on Sting.
Okay. John Cena.
5. I just hate the fact that they're calling him the GOAT. I don't think. I mean, I think there's a lot more wrestlers that I would have him or build around before I build around Cena. Great on the mic,
willing to put people over, does what it's supposed to be for the business. I get it.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
Ooh. So I have 2 and 4. Do I take a chance? Taker really did. I mean, his character. I mean, he was Mr. WrestleMania, so they built around him. I'm going to go forward Taker.
Wasn't Mr. WrestleMania Shawn Michaels?
It was, but I mean, 21-0.
The streak, I get it.
Yeah, I'm going to go forward.
4. So you got Roman Reigns at 2.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I would flip flop Sting and Roman Reigns. So I was kind of hoping you would have held out for Flair, but you gave me Hogan right off the bat. Which honestly, I would if you would have let off Hogan, or if you would have held off on Hogan, Hogan would probably been number 3 because I would have put Sting at 1. Then I probably would have put Taker at 2, Roman. Yeah. John Cena still would have been 5.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to tell you, thinking about these people and the money they earned, it was hard. It was hard not to put Stone Cold on that list. It was hard to
all right. Well, funny that we got wrestling theme because I got a wrestling one too. And I kind of been posting these in our wrestling chat, and I just want to put a proclaimer out there that we're not trying to hurt the significant others, feelings. Just this is fantasy.
Oh God!
So much. I got 5 ladies here. You get to have a chit chat with whatever for one night.
As long as there's a conversation, I'm healthy.
Yeah, conversation. Yes, we'll go with that route. All right. Mandy Rose.
Four.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Stephanie Valkyr.
language there might be tough, but honestly, 3. I think she'd be fun to talk to.
All right. Liv Morgan.
Oh, hell. This is going to come back to bite me in the butt because sometimes I flip. And it's weird because sometimes I flip flop Mandy Rose and Liv Morgan.
Yep.
For the longest time, I flip flop them. God, you're going to hurt me here because I have this. Gosh. I'm going to say 5 and really regret it.
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, 1. There's no question.
And at number 2,
Rhea Ripley.
Minnesota's own, the Smoke Show, Tiffany Stratton.
I don't regret it as much. I'm not a Tiffy fan.
Okay.
But I could see it. I get it. I get the attraction to her. But
Yeah.
I've been ever since Alexa came up from NXT. I've been a fan of Alexa since she was in NXT. So here's how bad it is. I have seen her masked singer episode.
Yep. Oh yeah, I watched it too. So.
Oh, yeah, I watched.
I had Tiffany at 1, Rose at 2, Valkyria at 3, Liv Morgan at 4, and Bliss at 5. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I know Kevin Cherry's going to argue with me that I have Bliss at 5, but no.
Well, it's everybody's taste. It was something to me with Alexa. It was always something, but and the thing is, I laugh at it because if anybody knows what Alexa Bliss's child's name is, Hendrix.
Yep. Oh, excuse me.
But
all right, so that is a little overtime on C2C Rakem. Tim, final thoughts?
Yeah, it's been a day. I love this. I get it, and it's nice to see what people. I've always had this curiosity about who's born on who I was born on and family members are born on, and then you get that new addition added on, and you get to look up some more, and it's just I love that. I'm a curious guy. I'm an investigative guy, and it just runs right up. It just runs into my attitude and my curiosity. I love doing it, and I was hoping against hope that she wasn't going to make it to the 28th because I what was it 20? It was the 25th. It was Sunday. I went to sleep going, I sure the hell hope my granddaughter's not born on the Challenger on the anniversary of the Challenger. And it was I'm like, oh God, here comes 4:30 just flying by, and all of a sudden I get a text, and I'm like, oh thank God. I had to look up to see what day the Challenger exploded. I
remember watching that at school, so
I do too, and it's just I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm a happy grandpa that she's here finally. Now my kid gets to understand what it's like to be a parent.
Well, the thing is I remember you breaking the news to us, I think on the show, when you found out, and it just seems like it's been forever, and the time's here. So congratulations. First episode that Punk Gunk's a sponsor of C2C Rakem. We'll definitely see them around. You'll catch us again Wednesday night, Primetime Blitz, for our Super Bowl episode, picks and all that fun stuff. Tim hasn't been around, so we'll catch up on some of his thoughts on his Colts and some quarterback or coaches, carousels, and stuff like that. Check me out with Between the Ropes on Monday as we recap the Rumble, recap my weekend at MAW Battle Border over in Wisconsin. And you'll catch me on the Scenic Sports Project with Bubba talking, football with Coach Cody and him. Had a blast this last Tuesday on that show, so props to them. So we'll see y'all next week. C2C Rakem. Have a good one.